So what's up guys, we're here in the kitchen and on this video I'm going to talk about bulking up on a budget, right? I'm currently not in a bulking phase, so some of this is not my daily stuff that I'll have when I'm bulking. You know, I use other stuff, but I'm just going to go through the stuff that I've got at the moment and how you can bulk or even cut as well on some sort of budget. You know, a lot of people these days always say, I want to get big, I know you've got to eat lots amount of food, but I just don't have the money to be able to pay for it all. One thing I will always say, buy in bulk, okay? If you are bulking up, cutting up, whatever it is, you always buy it in bulk, because the big amounts of food that you buy or products or anything, you're always going to get a better offer and a better deal, you know, so you're going to save a lot more money. A lot of people I know, you know, they don't have a lot of time, they're mainly office workers, and what they do is, you know, they buy on their way home. So if they're having, I don't know, for example, a chicken and rice meal with some veg, they go to work, on their way home, they stop off at the supermarket, they buy some fresh chicken breast, some fresh vegetables, and then a packet of Uncle Ben's rice or whatever. And then in that way, if you're doing that every single day, that can cost you a lot of money, especially if you're somebody who's like a bodybuilder and you're eating 6-7 times a day or even more. You know, trying to buy an individual meal each single time, you know, you're going to be paying £7 to £8, maybe £10 every time for that meal, you know, and that's going to cost you a lot of money in the long run. So I'll always say, make sure you buy in bulk whatever you do. So buy for at least a week or two, or try and do what I do. And what I do is I always buy it for the month. So everything you'll see here will do me for a whole month. Yes, when you do pay for it, it will seem like a lot of money, but if you add it up all together, it does save a lot of money at the end of the day and at the end of the month as well. So yes, you do fork out that big lump sum at the beginning, but in the long run, that will provide you for the whole month. So for the rest of that month, you don't have to buy any more food, plus it is always there for you. So once you've bought it all, it's in your house. You know, you haven't got to go out anymore to the shops. Providing that you keep it fresh as well, you know, things like your salads and other vegetables and fruits, make sure you keep them fresh, keep them in either a cool, dry place or in your refrigerator, just to try and keep them as fresh as long as you can, because otherwise they will rot and, you know, you can't eat them, but then you have to start restocking on that and then you're wasting food. But for me, what I have here is pretty much what I'm eating at the moment. And this will go through the whole month for me. This ain't everything. Some of the stuff is out of shot. I've got whole packs of chicken breasts on the floor as we speak. There's probably about 20 packs I buy altogether. A thing with my meats, I used to always buy my chicken from some sort of butchers. It was always fresh, freshly cut. You know, the only problem with this, when you're doing it by the butchers, again, this is going to cost you a lot of money, you know, because it's been freshly cut, it's been hand prepared for you right there in the shop, you know, and then normally bagged up for you. You can take it home, then freeze it yourself, or, you know, cook it all straight away. But this way does add up to be a lot more expensive. Normally, it works out double the price if you buy from a supermarket frozen. So yeah, there are pros and cons. It's nicer and fresh when you buy it from the butchers, but obviously you're going to probably be paying double the price. So for a bulk on a budget, I recommend buying frozen chicken breasts. At the moment, I'm buying from Asda. What I do as well is I look around. So I shop at different places and I try and see what the price ranges are per kilo of a chicken breast bag. I never go by just the price. So for example, the price of this bag is $4.99, but per kilo is $3.99, whereas other shops was looking about $6.99, $8.99, etc, etc. So these were the best ones on offer at the moment. Chicken breasts, they're frozen, they're easily stored away in your refrigerator or freezer, shall I say. I've got here 20 bags. 20 bags will do me for the whole month. Obviously, I'm not telling you to take 20 bags, you know, it's whatever you have to have, the requirement that you need for your daily bulk, or your monthly bulk, shall I say. But for me, it's 20 bags. Altogether, that cost me about £60 for 20 bags. If I was going to go to the butchers to buy this all freshly made, it would have probably cost me double that, about 120 to 130 quid. So I'm almost or pretty much half the price, you know, half the price of saving. So if I really wanted to, I could buy this whole bag of chickens again. So I've got 60 quid right there in my pocket saved. So that's what I recommend with the meats. Things like your veg, again, people buy fresh veg. Your two problems are with veg is if it is fresh, anything that's fresh, it's all prepared a lot nicer and it's prepared by hand by people. So if anything's prepared by hand, they do add the prices. The prices do go up. So again, with my vegetables, I buy them frozen. As you can see here, I've got some frozen broccoli. You know, again, they're for one pack of them, that's about 80p to a pound. You know, a pound per bag. Whereas if you was to buy a fresh, I don't know what they call them, a stock of broccoli, you're probably looking at about £1.50. Yeah, about £1.50 for one stock, and that would probably, for me personally, that would get me about 2 meals. Whereas this frozen bag for £1 will get me about 5 meals worth of vegetables. So again, you're saving again some money there and a good profit on the broccoli for vegetables. I'd say get the frozen, you know. Stay away from the fresh stuff, you know, fresh salads and fresh fruits, because again, they will rot over time. This will be stored in the freezer. They're not going to rot. You're going to get your money's worth and you're going to be able to use them. So that's what I say there. You're saving again 50p or so, 50, 60p. It all adds up, guys. It might not seem a lot, you know, it's 50, 60p, but at the end of the day, at the end of the month, when you get your bills out, every single penny counts, okay? Every penny makes up. Moving on, a lot of people I see eggs. I'll come on to oats next, but eggs, right? These at the moment, this is another problem I see with people buying. They look at eggs and they see a pack of 15 eggs, and they're roughly £1 per 15 eggs, like a pack of 15 eggs. But then they look at this pack and it's £3.50. Again, don't look at the price. Look at the price per egg. So if you look at a pack of 15 eggs, for example, they'll say there's £1 for that one pack. You might think, oh, I'm saving £2.50. But what happens is, if you look at the small print underneath the price, it will say how much it is per egg. And normally, 9 out of 10 times, the price per egg on the 15 pack, you're looking about 11 to 12p. Some might be cheaper. This is what I've seen in my experience when I've gone to the supermarket. But for this pack here, per egg, it was 7p. So again, per egg it's 7p, and on the 15 pack it was 11p, or some of them were 12p per pack. Again, so you're saving a few pennies there again. It all adds up, you know, especially if you're buying in bulk. For me, I have 22 packs of these eggs. I get through a lot of eggs a day. I have 17 eggs every single day. So I buy packs of 30. Again, adding it up at the end of the month, I've saved myself a lot of money. Again, I know it's pennies, but you know, 2-3 quid, they all add up. You know, they're little things that you can save up in the long run, and then at the end of the year, you realise you've saved up 50 to 100 quid. You know, so another good little tip there. Don't always look at just the price. Don't think just because it's a 15 pack and it says £1 special offer that you are going to get special offer. The bigger the bulk, the more likely you are going to save on money. Now porridge, okay. The thing with porridge is, I see a lot of people have these, is it called quick oats or whatever they are, with the little lady on the front of them. I'm not sure, I've never actually seen them, because to me they are pointless, right? I've come across them in the supermarket and I've seen the prices of them, and some of them are like 3-4 quid, maybe sometimes more. I know in America they're big out there. You know, 3-4 quid for this one tub. Again, I haven't looked at them, so I don't know how big they are, but for this tub for 3-4 quid, when you can buy one of this pack which does exactly the same stuff. You know, this is porridge oats. It's high in fibre. It's got everything you need. They're good complex carbohydrates. And for one pack of these, it's about 80p in your local supermarket. Again, this is from Asda. This cost me 80p exactly. I've gone to other supermarkets like Tesco's and I've seen them in there for 70p, 75p, and they are, you know, they're just the same as the Quaker Oats. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not sure what the name of them other oats, but you probably get the idea, the ones I'm talking about. They've got a little lady on the front, they're red and blue pack. Sometimes they're instant oats, I think, as well. You get them in little sachets, and I think you get sachets of like 45 grams, and people have them 1 to 2 sachets of these, and again that's costing about 4 to 5 quid per box. So you know, you're paying 3 or 4 quid for that, where this is under £1 for one of these, and this is a 1 kilo bag. I've got 4 of these, so there you go, right there. That's under 4 quid, you know, under 4 quid, and I've got 4 packs. So somebody buys 1 pack, and that's 4 quid right there. So if you want to get some oats, some nice complex carbohydrates, just get some plain porridge oats. There's nothing wrong with these ones. They're just as good as the expensive ones. Sometimes even better than the expensive ones. High in fibre, they're perfect, and I love these. You know, I can't go without my oats every morning. Moving on. Again, white rice, brown rice, don't really matter where you go, unless you go to some really big supermarkets. We've got one over here called Macros, and that, I'm pretty sure it's called Macros, but in there it's like a big warehouse, and they do everything in bulk. It's mainly for people who own businesses like restaurants and stuff like that, and they have to buy stuff in big massive bulks. They have rice in there of like 1 kilo, not even that, they have like 5 kilo bags. 6 kilo, 8 kilo bags, massive bags of rice. If you want to look for a shop like that, again, I'm not sure what the name are of the shops. I will find out, and I'll leave the name of it in the description below for you guys to check it out. But if you are looking for a massive bag, that's the sort of place you want to be going for, because, you know, again, it's the biggest bag you can probably get, and the bigger it is, the cheaper it is. But for me, in any supermarket, they're all roughly the same. I've just got myself some brown rice and white rice, some simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates, a bit of both. They're both exactly the same. They're about £1.50 per pack. This is a 1 kilo bag as well. Just double checking, but pretty much everything I buy, I normally buy in 1 kilo bags, because that does me perfectly. You know, if you can get a bigger bag, if you get a 2 kilo bag, go for the 2 kilo bag, because you'll probably find out that does cost a little bit less than the 1 kilo bag. There's nothing, mate, you know, the only thing I will say is don't opt for Uncle Ben's and stuff like that, because you are then just paying for the product more so than the actual rice itself. So you're paying for the name Uncle Ben's, and then majority of the time those Uncle Ben's rices, they are good for you, but a lot of them will have added chemicals, colouring, sweeteners and other stuff. They're not so good for you if you are very strict on your diet. So yeah, they are very tasty, don't get me wrong, but the main thing is, like most things, you're just paying for the brand. You know, you're not paying for the actual rice, you're paying for the name that's written on the front of it. So if you want to save again some money there, you might have to sacrifice the taste of the rice from Uncle Ben's and just opt for some plain brown rice or white rice. Get the Asda own brands, or whatever the supermarket you shop at, just look for their own brand, their value brand. Pretty much the same stuff. Rice is rice at the end of the day, a lot cheaper, and that's what you get with rice. Right, for my fruits, the only fruits I do have is bananas. I love a banana. I cannot get enough of bananas. These are 77p each, as you can see, and I get 5 in a bag. Again, you just got to shop around for bananas. I've got there 4 packs. So again, that's under 4 quid for 4 packs of bananas. Depends on the type of bananas you want. Some come in different sizes and different like packs. Some you might get 6 in a pack, some might get 3 in a pack or whatever. But this is the best offer that I could find. There's 5 in a pack for 77p. Great value. You know, you can't really, there ain't nothing major you can do on savings with bananas. You just got to make sure you look around, shop around, and find some good values of bananas. Other than that, sweet potatoes. I got my other complex carbohydrates are some sweet potatoes. Again, I buy these in the big packs. This is the 1 kilo bag, if I'm correct. Yes, 1 kilo bag. There's 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 8 sweet potatoes in this bag. Again, I've got 4 bags here. 4 bags will get me through the month, just like everything else. Everything's normally stacks of 4. Sweet potatoes. There's no major difference really in sweet potatoes and normal potatoes. The only difference obviously is a sweet potato is more of a complex carbohydrate and a white potato is a simple carbohydrate. Other than that, they are pretty much the same. They're pretty much the same in value. The only thing I would say with trying to save a bit of money, don't go to the hand-picked veg section. You know, when you have the veg section and you can hand-pick your potatoes, don't go to that section, because again, if you're paying for them individually, you will be paying a higher price. If you are looking for a cheaper version or a cheaper option, buy them already in packs. Not many shops do have them, you know, in packs these days. Asda definitely always have them in there. I know places like Morrison's and like places like that, you have to normally hand pick them out. They never have packs of them. So yeah, I would always say, if you're going to look for a nice cheaper option for your sweet potatoes or any type of potatoes that you want, don't opt for the picked potatoes. Don't try and pick your own potatoes out, because again, you're paying per kilo per potato. You're probably looking about, you know, if you bought 4 potatoes hand picked, you could be looking around. Again, it depends. You can't really get an exact price on this, because it's the value of the weight of the potatoes as well. They're all different sizes, so they go by weight. So average, you're probably looking about £5, maybe £4. Again, I'm not 100% sure, but for these, I got these for £3 each. So 4 bags there, £3 each. It's a good bargain there. And obviously I get more in there, so you know, I'll probably need to get double what I'll get if I was hand picking them. The only other thing I will say is, if you do struggle with space, I know this would mean spending more money, but get yourself another freezer if you can. I have 3 freezers. I have one freezer here, I have one freezer under the stairs, and I have another freezer out in the shed in the garden. So that's where I stock all my meats and veg and other bits, because other people live in the house as well, so they have to store their food as well. But you know, if you can't afford the freezer, to be honest, there's not a lot I can recommend. You know, you have to just try and find the space. You know, work something out. You try and, if you can afford a second-hand freezer, get a second-hand freezer. But just try and buy as much as you can buy that will fit into your freezer in your household. Other than that, you know, if you can't fit the space, you know, in a big bulk, you have to just sacrifice the cost of it and buy it in a weekly stage, if that's all that you can, you know, fit into your cupboards and freezers, etc. But apart from that, that's pretty much what I recommend for trying to bulk on a budget. Again, like I said, this ain't the stuff that I normally use when I'm bulking. When I do bulk as well, I use stuff like pasta. This is not my pasta at the moment. I normally use these to bulk. These are a little bit cheaper than the rice. I think like I said, the rice is about £1.50 for that bag here, which is 1 kilo. I normally get these for about 70p for one of these packs. These are just whole wheat, Morrison's own brand. Again, I always look for the own brand. To me, it don't make no major difference. Don't go looking for brands and brand names, etc. I always look for the value, own brands, the supermarket own brands. These are 70p. This is normally what I eat when I'm on a bulking phase. I'll probably buy 10 of these, and I'll probably get about 2 days worth of food out of one pack. So you know, 70p's worth of 2 days, you save yourself some money there. That's probably the only difference I do use. Other things I will use is when I'm bulking up is stuff like normal potatoes instead of sweet potatoes. But again, I'll buy them in packs, so I'm saving some money there. The only other thing I do say, and this is something that I love absolutely, is bagels. Bagels, I get the New York bagels. Okay, this is they do have their own brand one, but when it comes to my bagels, I am a big lover of bagels, and I have to make sure I get the best of bagels. Now this is where I can taste the difference. I have had Morrison's, Tesco's, Asda, Sainsbury's. I've had all of them. I've had all their own brands of bagels, and they're horrible. To me, they just taste horrible. They're so plain. They're so dry. You know, I can just, some of them I can even taste the flour in it. But for me, I always get the New York bagels, but they are normally on offer all the time. They're normally about 2 packs for £1.50, or you get one for £1. So again, you're saving yourself 50p if you're buying 2 packs. If you do want to get yourself on a lower of a budget, go and get the own brands. They're not as tasty as the New York bagels, you know, they are a lot drier and plain, but for a own brand one, you're probably looking at 50p, maybe 60p for an own brand, and then you get about 4 in a pack. Same as the New York bagels, you get about 4 in a pack. I love them. They're a wicked source of carbohydrates and protein as well. For one bagel, normally in a New York bagel, it's about 40 grams of carbohydrates and about 11 to 12 grams of protein. So sometimes when I was on a bulking phase, I'd have one, maybe sometimes 2 bagels before I worked out, or I'd have them straight after workout, and I'd just have them on my own. Sometimes, you know, I just carry them as they are in my gym bag as soon as I finish a workout or so. If I'm going out somewhere else, I'm not on my way home, they're right there in my bag. They're so handy. Just take one out, eat it on the way wherever I'm going to work, etc. You know, it's so handy, and like I said, they're good source of carbohydrates and protein, high in carbohydrates, especially for that pre-workout meal or post-workout meal. That I definitely recommend if you do want to look for some sort of high carbohydrate with a low budget. Get some own brand bagels, but if you do have a problem with the taste, then you have to pay that little bit extra for the New York bagels, which I recommend. Other than that, that's pretty much it. That's what I would recommend for bulking on a budget. You know, the main tips I would say is buy in massive bulks. If you can buy for a monthly shop, buy for a monthly shop, or you know, anything close to that. Always buy the bigger packs and bigger versions, you know, for example like the eggs. So buy the pack of 30. If they do a pack of 60 where you're from or whatever, buy the pack of 60 and look at the small print, because you'll always find that the small print says that you're saving more money if you buy the bigger packs than you do the little packs. You know, and yeah, just buy in a bulk and buy frozen stuff if you're really trying to save. Again, I know this isn't as tasty as the fresh stuff, but if you are on that budget, you know, that's what this whole video is about. Working on a budget, this is where you have to take the sacrifices. So the meat's not as nice, the vegetables is not as fresh, but you know, you're going to be saving yourself a hell of a lot of money on that. So that's what I recommend for you guys for bulking on a budget, cutting on a budget, whatever it is you are looking to do. I hope it did help. You know, I'm just trying to give you my best point of view on trying to, you know, save yourself some money, some pennies, because at the end of the day, we all have to try and save what we can and make do with what we can. So I hope this video did help you guys. Make sure you check out my last video and hit that like button for me on this video, and subscribe to my channel to see more upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And remember, stay safe and make it happen.